The internal viewpoint will be expressed by Mary-Ann Thomas, Simon Talbot and Anthea Galanis, and the external viewpoint will be expressed by Peter Young, Juliet Lush and George Wright.
For the purpose of tonight, I'd like to just preface the teams with the light and the value and the dark arts. The doctors of spin. The purveyors of philosophies that have caused the crashes of some of our great organisations.
What the two metaphors illustrate quite clearly is that most companies have the potential to grow and flourish, as long as the seed has the right leadership, employee engagement and compelling vision. These are the roots or the foundation of which successful business are built upon.
Our love for brands starts when we are young. Brands is about passion, it's about love, it's about mutual forgiving. And like the great love affair, our brands will wither the storm. And when I wear the brands of the rich and famous, I feel rich and famous myself. Well, if I did have a husband, I'd probably have a BMW and Audi. That's what men like. Anyway, I'm turning 50 on Friday. I know you can't believe it. I know I can't believe it either. But I owe it to my love of Chanel and Lancôme. Over the years, we've developed a love affair, and they should love me as much as I love them because I make them look so bloody good.
Thank you very much, everyone. And Juliet, it was so lovely to hear your speech. I thought it was a French affectation, the alouche. I thought it was Juliet lush. Like Juliet, I don't have a husband either, but if I did have one, I'd have one that was like the people's car, a Volkswagen, maybe a Holden Commodore. I'm not showy, flashy, I'm not caught up in that world, but I'm going to tell you tonight about some people that are. And can I tell you how delighted I am? It's my happy task to be here this evening and to discredit everything that Juliet has said so far.
Where to start? I think what I'd ask you all to do is just to wipe from your minds all you have heard from our opponents here. And let's start at the beginning. And let's examine the history and origins of internal and external communications. Historians agree that modern mass or external communications began in 1439 when German printer Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. Gutenberg's printing revolution is one of the most important events in human history. It played a key role in the Renaissance, in the Reformation, in the scientific revolution, the development of our knowledge-based economy, and the spread of mass. The beginning of modern internal communications dates back to the First Punic War between Rome and Carthage in 246 BC. The Romans, you see, had just invented galley warships. These boats had no sails. They were powered by hundreds of slaves with oars chained together below the decks of the boat. A great invention. But what the Romans soon discovered, that it was almost impossible to get these pesky slaves to row in time. The problem was solved by the great Roman general and the founding father of modern-day internal communications, Productivity Maximus. Productivity Maximus had the idea to put a slave driver down in the hull with a drum and a whip with the slaves to internally communicate with them when it was time to row. Eventually, the HR people got involved. The drum and the whip were replaced by the meeting, the memo, the email, the intranet, and of course, the PowerPoint and the motivational poster. But the basics remain the same. I want to finish quickly with two quotes about reputation. One is from Shakespeare, it's Richard II, which reads, "The purest treasure mortal times afford is spotless reputation that away men are but gilded loam and clay." The second, and my favourite, is from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, 1980 hit Bad Reputation. It goes, "I don't give a damn about my reputation. The world's in trouble, there's no communication, and everyone can say what they want to say It never gets any better anyway. So why should I care about my reputation? Not me, no, not me, no, not me. Think about that.
Let's face it, the people that speak most about a company and have the most opinions, be they good or bad, are the people that work there, the employees. And that being the case, why wouldn't you harness the potential of your employees as your reputation base and invest in great internal communications to enhance and manage wider community reputation? Indulge me while I take you through 5 tips of the restaurant trade that I believe apply equally to internal communications. Number 1 is keep it fresh. My second tip is be creative. Creativity here means bringing more than one element to play in your internal communications offering. And the third tip is, tip I'd like to share with you is to keep your ingredients locally sourced. Like a good restaurant, you want to source your ingredients from local producers so that your content is relevant and authentic to your audience. Which leads me to tip 4, who's keeping count. Make your guests feel welcomed and loved. And last but not least is tip 5, be true to your theme. If you can't convince your employees of your greatness, who can you convince?
We all know that this debate is a contrivance. It's really about having a discussion, making a few points, and hopefully having a laugh along the way. And at Cricket Australia, we have a formal communication policy endorsed by our board. We communicate internally before we go externally. We talk about being open, honest and timely. It all clicks together, and we all know that. It's really important.
So I don't get to decide who wins tonight's debate. You guys are the ultimate arbiters. I want you to make as much noise as you can for the respective teams, and I will decide based on the volume who is the winner for tonight's. So for those who presented the internal side of the debate, Simon, Marianne and Anthea, can we make some noise please? Beautiful. For the external team, can we make some noise, ladies and gentlemen? I'm really finding it hard to get between the two. Really, it's. I think we have to award the team to the externals. Ladies and gentlemen, extend your congratulations.